Hello and welcome to Totally Trades. This session is provided to you by New Ventures Maine. New Ventures Maine has been providing in-person Totally Trades conferences for many years in Maine, and for the past 2 years, we have provided virtual sessions. These sessions are intended for people who identify as girls or as gender expansive, gender nonconforming, or non-binary, and are interested in exploring non-traditional careers. Totally Trades provides information about careers in trade and technical fields that students of any gender might want to explore. We welcome students of all abilities, backgrounds, regions, religions, and experiences. Non-traditional careers are careers that are predominantly and traditionally filled by one gender. Occupations such as truck driving, engineering, pilots, and architects are considered non-traditional occupations for women. Careers such as nursing, child care provider, and elementary teaching are considered non-traditional for men. In today's session, we will be focusing on the career of truck driver. Truck driving is a non-traditional occupation for women. Did you know there are many different types of truck driving careers? I bet you've seen many examples when you're traveling locally or to different places in the United States. Whether someone is driving a tractor-trailer truck a long distance, or you see a large bus carrying passengers, truck drivers are necessary to moving goods and helping people get to where they are going. We often hear about the helping professions and automatically think of nurses, doctors, counselors, and firefighters, which are all needed, but we also need truck drivers to haul goods and provide services on a daily basis. How would students get to school or food get into our grocery stores without truck drivers? On this slide, you can see that there are several different kinds of truck drivers. Truck drivers that haul both very long distances, across the country and even world, and truck drivers that haul things locally. There are drivers that haul both dry goods and liquid goods, as well as those who transport very large things like mobile homes, parts for windmills, and flatbeds loaded with vehicles. Then, of course, there are drivers that get people from one place to another. Having a commercial driver's license, or CDL, means you can operate different types of large and heavy commercial vehicles, including trucks, buses, and trailers. Truck drivers pick up goods and materials, make sure that their loads are secure, and weigh the right amount, and then deliver their loads. They are also making sure that whatever they transport is loaded and unloaded properly. They are responsible for basic vehicle maintenance and must follow safe work practices. And, like almost every job, truck drivers do have to keep good records. As I discussed earlier, there will always be a need for truck drivers, worldwide. There will always be a need for drivers to haul various loads, both short distances and long distances. We also need women working in this industry. Truck drivers earn good wages on average, depending on who they work for, what kind of freight they carry, how much experience they have, as well as other reasons. What does this all mean? It means that the time, energy, and money you might spend on education and training should pay off and result in finding a job that will be able to support you with living on your own. You do not need to start this career by going to school several years after high school. You can start a truck driving career fairly quickly. Requirements often include a high school diploma and a particular license, which you can often pursue within a year. Truck drivers can work both days and nights, depending on who they work for. You can explore driving opportunities with unique hours, like nights or weekends, that match your lifestyle better than standard working hours. Some truck drivers may have local routes they perform regularly, while others can travel long distances. With longer hours, truck drivers often have the opportunity to travel and see new places. If you are interested in becoming a truck driver, you will want to complete high school or its equivalent. You may also want to consider a heavy equipment program or commercial driving license, CDL, program available at a career and technical education, or CTE program. All high schools in Maine have access to CTE programs, and many offer truck driving or related programs. Attending a CTE program would be a good place to start to learn some good skills at no cost and see if this job interests you. After high school, you might consider a CDL program at a Maine Job Corps Center or at a Maine community college. There are also on-the-job learning opportunities, also known as OJTs, in Maine, for example at the Maine Department of Transportation, or apprenticeship opportunities where you can earn money while learning skills. For more information about OJTs and apprenticeships, you can watch our Totally Trades Earn While You Learn session. Next, I would like to introduce you to Kathy and Catherine. Kathy is a truck driver and CDL instructor for Loring Job Corps Center, a job corps center located in northern Maine. And Catherine is one of her students who is completing her CDL at Job Corps and has a long-term career goal of working as a truck driver. On a lighter note, Kathy says that something that she finds funny about her work is the look on people's faces when they see a woman not only driving a tractor-trailer truck, but doing it well. Sounds like she really busts stereotypes about what some people think women can and cannot do.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Can you both introduce yourselves and let us know who you are?
I'm Kathy Coria. I am the head CDL instructor for Loring Job Corps.
And I'm Catherine Huzzy, a student at Loring Job Corps for the CDL program.
Great. Can you both say a little bit about what training and education you've had and what got you interested in CDL as a career?
I had started when I was 21. Got into it because of my family and my grandparents. I have went through 6 weeks of rigorous 5 days a week training to get it. I have 19 years of experience as of right now between not just tractor trailer, but also school bus. I have my hazmat endorsements, pretty much all of them except for one. And I also have my teaching degree to teach for CDL. I had to go through 3 weeks of that. And I love driving trucks.
Great. Catherine?
I grew up on a family farm, was around big trucks from the very beginning. The first vehicle I learned to drive was a Ford dually pickup, and it just went up from there. And my grandfather was a trucker. He loved to truck. Unfortunately, he had to get out of it for other reasons, and I followed in his footsteps.
Great. Catherine, can you talk about what some of the challenges might be in this career or what you really love about it?
Love being out on the road, love being able to help supply the country with items that are needed from factories, which if trucks weren't around, they wouldn't be getting them to people who really need them. There's all sorts of challenges, from finding places to stay because there's not enough of them, good places to eat. Me being a woman, it's harder. We have to fight for our existence in the trucking industry because some men out there are on the old-fashioned side. We're not supposed to be truck drivers. We're not supposed to be in that industry, and always having to prove ourselves that we can do just as good a job as they can.
Mm-hmm. How do you, when you say prove yourself, what does that mean? What are some things you feel like you need to do to prove that you can do a good job?
That we can drive just as good as they can on the same roads, that we can pull hoods down and check the truck out, we can strap loads. You know, we can deal with shippers and receivers, which some of them are not always the nicest. You know, fueling, some of them don't see women as being able to get dirty and liking it. Me growing up on a farm, I was dirty all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so me going out and working on a truck is nothing.
Yeah. Do you think there's some misunderstanding about that because of physical stature, that sometimes women don't have the physical stature or are not strong enough to do this kind of work? And obviously that's not true because you're doing it. But do you think that there's some misunderstanding about that?
Of course. You know, a lot of men out there are a lot bigger than us. They can pull a hood down with one hand and with their eyes closed. Yes, I have to work a little bit harder. Yes, use a few different techniques that Kathy has taught me on how to be able to use my size to an advantage. But just proving them that because I'm small, because I'm thin, does not mean I'm not just as strong and that I can't, you know, strap down a load for even. They don't think we can throw straps over a load. or have enough strength to tighten the straps up the way they should be.
Mhm.
Rather, they make it look easy, we have to work just a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah. Kathy, in terms of girls or young women that are thinking about a career in this and then sort of sitting on the fence or ruling themselves out because they think, oh, this is work that only men do. What kind of advice would you have for girls and young women that are considering a career in CDL but holding back?
I would tell, like Catherine and many other girls, that this industry is not just for men. I've been in it for a very long time, and it's actually, the women in the industry has been expanding over the years. So there's no reason why CDL cannot be an option.
Mm-hmm. And when you're talking to young women, or you've had young women taking your classes, or even middle-aged women, or women in general taking your classes, do you find that they're good students and that they do a great job?
Actually, sometimes the female students are a lot better than the men. They're more safety cautious, which is part of this business, is you need to be safety. And I feel sometimes it's easier to train a woman than it is a man,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no reason why they can't do it.
Okay. Anything either of you want to say as we wrap up, or any advice you have for girls and young women thinking about this as a career?
I'd like to say, follow your heart. Before I came here to Job Corps, I was thinking about another local truck driving school earlier, 2 years ago. And I went to get a grant because I physically could not afford to go to school at that time. And the gentleman there told me that I needed to go find a job that was meant for women. Well, my boyfriend at the time, who's also a truck driver, told me, no, you can do this. You want to do it? We'll find you a way to go to school. Whatever we have to do, we'll find you a way to go to school. And this opportunity came up, and we looked at everything and said, you want to do this? I said, yes. It was kind of like that little light at the end of the tunnel that said, you can do this. This is your opportunity to go and get what you want. And when I showed up, Kathy met me with a smile. She was the first one I got to meet out of the whole team. Told me that everything's going to be all right. I was going to fit in. She wasn't going to let any of the other students bully me around or anything like that, because I'm a woman. I'm the only woman at this time in my class, but I've made lots of friends. Everyone here has treated me with the utmost respect, because they get to see that I can do just as much as they can. I go out and do the maneuvers. I go out and do the pre-trip. I don't slack off. I work my
Great.
butt off for everything.
Yeah, that's great. I think that what you're saying is that there's some great training programs, including Job Corps, and for students that are looking to do CDL, and that if you have a good support system in place, then that helps as well for you to really pursue it and be successful at it. So I really, really appreciate that perspective. Thank you. Thank you both for joining me. I think that the young women who are watching this session will really appreciate your point of view. So I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, do you think a career in truck driving might be something for you to consider? If you are dependable, attentive, have patience, work well alone or with others, communicate well, can see yourself behind the wheel for long periods of time, and or want to travel to other places, this might be a career to find out more about. The bottom line is that we need more truck drivers in Maine and in the United States, and these jobs pay good and you can get trained in a reasonable amount of time, in some cases before you even graduate from high school. If you think you might be interested in this career area, go to ONET Online, talk to your guidance counselors or CTE director and staff, or reach out to New Ventures Maine for more information. A good career is waiting for you. Your feedback is important to us. Please complete the form that was sent or provided to you by the school staff person who gave you the link for this session. Totally Trades is sponsored by the Maine Department of Transportation and the Maine Department of Education, Career, and Technical Education. We thank them for their support. On our website, you can find other partners, organizations, and employers who also support Totally Trades. Thank you for attending today. We hope that this session provided you with useful information and encourages you to continue your career exploration.